Hey, what's going on? I'm back here again with another episode of Craving Some Raven. In this episode, if you can't tell by the title, it's going to be another mock draft. And the way I'm doing this is before I was just writing it down, just guessing who's going to fall. But I've seen some people, they're using this website, uh, thedraftnetwork.com, where you do a mock draft. Like you straight up, like a 7 round, the computer analyzes everything and it simulates a draft, but you pick the players for a specific team. So I'm gonna do that with the Ravens. I already did one, just to get a feel for it. So this is gonna be my second one, and then I'll do it. I'll do it live. I'll tell you what I got in the first one, but then I'll kind of like do it live when I do this second one. But before we get into that, some news came out today. The Ravens signed RG3, which I expected them to do it. I was kind of getting nervous there because he just kept, days are going by. Yeah, still hasn't signed. We don't have a backup. What's going on, man? He's probably trying to get a starting role, but he kind of realized that, that just ain't going to happen. It's just not going to happen for you, RG3. Maybe next year, who knows? So, got home, got some food after work, came back, and I'm going to record this episode. So I went on YouTube, and I see TJ Hushmanzada. Ravens re-sign RG3 to be Lamar Jackson's backup. And it was on Speak for Yourself. And I like TJ Hushmanzada on this show, but everyone else, they're a bunch of fucking mouth breathers. Anthony, or what's his name, Whitlock? Is it Anthony Whitlock? It doesn't fucking matter. That fat piece of shit doesn't know anything about Ravens football. He loves his opinions about Lamar Jackson. He's always hating. And I get it. There's good criticisms to have about Lamar. I can deal with that. TJ Hushmanzada, and then this other guy, Mark, fuck your last name, Skull, I don't even know how to pronounce it. They had their criticisms on Lamar too. I understand it. He is not the most accurate quarterback. But you know what? According to the numbers, compared to the other rookies, he is the most accurate quarterback. So I'm tired of fucking hearing he's just inaccurate. Yeah, at the same rate, he's actually more accurate. It's just his misses are far worse than any of the other quarterbacks. Like, he'll throw a dud. Lamar Jackson will throw a dud. But god damn it, if he doesn't miss nearly as often as apparently the other quarterbacks are. So, and that's coming off a stat that the Ravens posted in one of their late for work. This lady who was verified on Twitter posted a spreadsheet with all the different accuracy numbers from the rookie quarterbacks last year, from short to intermediate to long. He was second in short, second in intermediate, and first in long. So for a grand total of being first in accuracy amongst the rookie quarterbacks. And Anthony Whitlock, you dumb motherfucker. I swear to God, he he does this all the time. I think there's a chance of a 50% chance that RG3 will be the starter at the end of the season. 50%? That's flipping a fucking coin. Make a decision, goddammit. Oh my God. This dude pisses me off. No neck having ass, fat piece of shit. God damn. Get your life. And he's always just sitting back, like, trying to be coy, like he knows what's going on. The only thing he knows is the bottom of a buffet plate. Okay? He doesn't... Oh. How are you going to say... And then he later reiterated, I'd say 48 to 50% chance that... 48 to 50%? So you're going to flip a coin? When they say there's a 50% chance of rain? So you just don't know? Make up your fucking mind, have an opinion, sit back, be coy, roll your neck. He actually doesn't have a neck. It's all fat. It goes straight from chin to belly. I swear to God. And man, they're always super critical. Like, man, he can't keep running. Well, you know what? He kept running in college. He didn't get injured in college. He ran for more than Saquon Barkley. I don't hear you telling Saquon Barkley he shouldn't run. They're saying he's going to get like 300 touches this year. No one's batting a fucking eye. But because Lamar's a quarterback and he's a running quarterback, he's not allowed to fucking do it. I say, run Lamar, run. Let him go. Let him run for 1,500 yards this year. I say run him 20 times a game. I don't give a fuck. Use him for what he's good for. Fuck. God damn. Speak for yourself pisses me off. You know what? I'm speaking for myself, and you all don't know what the hell you're talking about. You know about basketball and football, but you don't know the specifics. You obviously do not. Fuck. You know, this is supposed to be a mock draft. And I'm like 5.5 minutes in, ranting. And this video was supposed to be about RG3. That's why I clicked on it, because I wanted to hear what TJ Hushmanzada had to say about RG3 backing up Lamar. And instantly they go into, Lamar Jackson, man, I don't know. And then Anthony Whitlock, he doesn't even do that. He just, I believe. He sounds like a black Bill Clinton, but somehow even dumber. He's got like a mutton chop in his head. There's no brain, just a mutton chop. Might be stuck in his throat, that's why it's so fat. If you're a Ravens fan, I think you also don't like Anthony Whitlock. I don't think I'm the only one, but he really just, really grinds my gears. Anthony Whitlock. That's probably not even his first name. It just sounds right. Fuck. So, I guess I'm just going to do a mock draft now that my blood's pumping, got some adrenaline going. God damn. I was thinking about doing an ad, but no, this fucking episode is brought to you by Anthony Whitlock's dumb face and his shitty reporting. Or actually just shitty opinions. He obviously doesn't watch Ravens football. He obviously doesn't watch the players he's talking about. He obviously doesn't watch Lamar. He's just repeating what he's heard other people say. Man, because if you actually hear some of the other national reporters, you can tell when they've watched Lamar. You really can. Because it's super obvious, because the national media members who watch Lamar play, they change they change the narrative of what it normally is, of what Anthony Whitlock regurgitates from what he hears, He shouldn't be regurgitating ideas. He should be regurgitating his food. Go bulimic, man. Lose some fucking weight. Yeah, so, alright. That's enough. I'm done. I'm done going off about fucking Whitlock. Speak for yourself, guys. Speak for yourself. And I like Hushmanzada. Okay, alright, I'm done. So, doing a mock draft. That's what I'm here for. So I use this website, thedraftnetwork.com, and so plugged in, Ravens. Let's see, let me just restart this page. So you can go click on the website, you can go mock drafts, start a mock draft. So I'm going to pick the Ravens, obviously, because this is a Ravens podcast, baby. So you can go by TDN's predictive board or player rankings. I'm going to go by predictive board because when I did that last time, man, it was tough trying to decide where these players, like who you want to grab. We're going to do 7 rounds, normal speed, we do manual picks, and start draft. So while this is going, before it gets to pick 22, I'm going to go over who I got last time. So pick 22, I picked Hakeem Butler, Iowa wide receiver. Then in the 3rd round, pick 85, I picked Darrell Henderson. Now, I think he could have fallen more because there were a lot of running backs that fell further. So I think I'm going to wait on a running back. I think Darrell Henderson's probably going to be the guy that the Ravens should get. But there's going to be some, even like if you're talking just straight up running backs who are probably rated better, who fell like way further. So then at pick 102, I grabbed Anthony Nelson, edge defender from Iowa. He's very good against the run, decent in the pass, but probably fill in for what we lost in Terrell Suggs. And then pick 113, I got Jacoby Myers, wide receiver out of, I think, NC State. He is or Nebraska. I don't know. I just remember I was watching tape on his teammate, Anthony Nelson? No, Anthony Nelson's the guy we just drafted. No, Kelvin Harmon. And Jacoby Myers was the one making all the plays during that tape. So I really like his upside. You're a very good wide receiver. And then at pick 123, I grabbed Ben Shawwell. It was one of the Wisconsin offensive linemen. You go with Wisconsin's offensive linemen if you want a good starter in the league. Basically Big Ten offensive lineman, pretty much. And then at pick 160, I grabbed Savion Smith, cornerback out of Alabama. I really liked what Savion Smith brings, but they had him rated real low. Probably could have grabbed him with the last pick at 193, but I'm going off who I think is best, not necessarily where they have him ranked. So at pick 191, I picked Hunter Renfrow. He was just there, and I was like, man, I don't know. I felt like a wasted pick. After I clicked it, I was like, man, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. But he could be like the Cinderella story, end up being like one of the best wide receivers in the league. Clemson went third in Renfrow all the fucking time last year. And then at pick 193, I picked up Jimmy Moreland, cornerback out of JMU. This is Tavon Young 2.0. It's just he goes to JMU and is a very small slot corner. But if you're talking skill level, Tavon Young. So, with that being said, this thing's all ready to go. I'm on the clock at pick 22. And before I make a pick, I've kind of changed what I want out of this draft. I think our defense is pretty set. Maybe we're not going to be the number one defense again, but if we're number 2 or 3, I think that's perfectly serviceable to go into the season as it stands right now. Now, I probably will draft a defensive player, but we don't need big changes. I'm going to go mostly offense in this draft because what we need are weapons. Now, when I'm speaking of weapons, it come in all shapes and sizes. Running backs, tight ends, wide receivers. What I'm looking for is the kind of player that teams have to plan for. Because in the Ravens offense right now, it's the first time in forever that we've actually had a player on offense that teams have to plan for. Where they keep an eye open on every play. And that's Lamar Jackson. You got the whole team watching Lamar because he is so explosive. So we need to add more players that attract eyes on the field. So there's less eyes on Lamar. Tyreek Hill, basically the whole Kansas City offense. You got Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. You need to keep an eye on both of those guys. You have to double cover both of them because at any point they're just going to fucking go off and ruin your day. We need some of those guys. We need, there's no guarantee you're not going to get those guys in the draft. There's no guarantee you're going to get those guys, but you need guys who have those features. I don't know, not features, but traits. Who have those kind of traits that they can take over a game if you're not careful. Those are the pieces that I think will complement Lamar the best. And I think they are going to do a running offense. So when it comes to receiver, I'm looking for speed, separation, and blocking. Hands first, always. It should go without mentioning. We ain't doing this again. So I'm here on the clock, and I'm looking at some guys. All right. So we got T.J. Hawkinson is still on the board. Devin Bush is still on the board. Oh, man, it's going to be tough. Josh Jacobs is on the board. Byron Murphy's on the board. Hakeem Butler's on the board. A.J. Brown's on the board. I've been really liking A.J. Brown recently. Cleveland Farrell's on the board. Damn, Eric McCoy. Marquise Brown. Man, this is tough. Paris Campbell, everyone's thinking him. See, the problem is we don't have a third round pick or a second round pick. So, what do the Ravens do first? What do we need most? I think we need a wide receiver, but what type of wide receiver? Do we need a possession guy? Do we go ahead and grab Hakeem Butler? Or, do we grab Devin Bush, best player available, or T.J. Hawkinson? We don't need a tight end, but if you need a weapon, another blocking tight end, you have 4. Now, I don't know what they're doing with Max Williams, so, I'm not going to go T.J. Hawkinson. here, just because we still have Max Williams. If we were to lose Max Williams, I would say fuck it, grab T.J. Hawkinson, another big blocking, catching, receiving tight end. Don't even grab a receiver. You just need weapons, and they come in all shapes and sizes. So I'm thinking Hakeem Butler, Devin Bush, or A.J. Brown. I really like Hakeem Butler, Baltimore kid, big guy. But, man, like last year, he wasn't the number one, even though he had the physical tools. Who is he behind? Lazard? Anthony Lazard? Some guy like that? Did he do anything in the league this year? And you're telling me he was behind the depth chart on him? I think he's a little bit too raw for a first round. Now, I understand the upside. The upside is huge. Everyone understands that the upside is there. But, oh man, this is going to be tough. So right now, I love Hakeem Butler. I know Joe Nubo's on the Hakeem Butler hype train. I'm on it too a little bit. But, oh man, I'm on the A.J. Brown hype train right now too. And here's why. Super productive. Out of the slot, catch and run guy, impossible to bring down. Good hands, solid hands, big receiver. I was watching some of his interviews. He's a good dude. And apparently he plays baseball too. So the Orioles, they need some help. Maybe in the offseason you go ahead and, walk on over to Birdland. Walk on over to Camden Yards and help him out. I mean, he can probably get a spot in the majors on the Orioles roster. They ain't that good. So, but also Devin Bush is sitting there. You're talking elite linebacker, inside linebacker in this draft. Sorry, that Whitlock rant got me all thirsty. My soul is purged. So, man. But also Cleveland Farrell. And if you're talking, you want one guy, if I go ahead and grab Cleveland Farrell, that might be my only defensive guy I draft. But I really like A.J. Brown. I think A.J. Brown is a blue chip wide receiver. I think Cleveland Farrell is a blue chip edge. I think Devin Bush is a blue chip inside linebacker. I really like our spot at inside linebacker. So right now I'm between A.J. Brown and Cleveland Farrell. Man, I think there's a lot of receivers who could add number one potential later on, but I think the top end talent at the edge position in this draft is just way better than the middle tier. But in the third round, think about in the third round if Chase Winovich is there. But see, he wasn't last time. I think you go ahead, get the blue chip pass rusher. That is going to shore up your defense. I'm doing it. Cleveland Farrell. All right. I guess now I'll just wait around until that pick comes up. Yeah, man. Let's see. So we'll just see who's available next. So, see Chase Winovich, 37. Damn it. Well, see, that's why you go ahead and get Cleveland Farrell. He's going to shore up your defensive line. And I think, honestly, the way the roster is right now, today, if we don't lose anybody else, and if we go into the season with our defense right now, with Cleveland Farrell on it, I think that's perfect. I think we just drafted Terrell Suggs, and then Tim Williams and Tyus Bowser are going to supplant all of everything we got from Zadarius Smith and Terrell Suggs in the passing game. And I think Cleveland Farrell is just an all-around good prospect. Someone who is perfectly even when it comes to okay. So, all right, we're on the board. We're on the clock. So top guys, Andy Isabella. Ooh. Terry McLaurin, no. Darrell Henderson is there too. Man. Because I think Darrell Henderson's going to be the running back that that we have to get. I just think, you need weapons, and when I was talking about guys who they have to watch out for, I think he's one of those guys. But is Darrell Henderson, is he going to fall? But Andy Isabella is also here. And I really like Isabella coming out. He gets open. I think he's going to be open on every single goddamn play. And he's excellent after the catch. And yeah, he's going to get open, especially since Lamar's going to be getting all these looks. So we pick at 102. Darrell Henderson, I don't know if he's going to be there at 102. Andy Isabella sure as hell isn't. I'm going Isabella. I'm doing it. I'm picking the Patriots player. Haha, suck it. So, all right, now it's going. Darrell Henderson's still there. David Montgomery's still there. Damian Harris still there. Justice Hill, talking running backs. Ooh. Yeah, these running backs are falling. Ooh, buddy, I'm on the clock. Yeah, nice. Darrell Henderson is still there. David Montgomery. I really like David Montgomery. Just watching him, if you get him behind the line, he makes the most people miss. And then, but I mean, Trayvon Williams is also legit. Let's see what interior offensive line. Ross Pierschbacher, but he's gonna be available, I think, later on. See what kind of centers are available. Let's see. Cornerbacks are always good. I'll probably reach for a cornerback later. Wide receivers, what do we got? Terry McLaurin, Mecole Hardman, Miles Boykin, Darius Slayton, Jacoby Myers, like Tim. Man, I don't think any of the values here until the later rounds. Till a little bit later on. I know I was talking about speed, but man, there must have been a run. There must have been a run at wide receivers. They're all gone. All the top guys. Is McLaurin any good? I really don't know enough about McLaurin. I know Paris Campbell's the guy. Like, if I was going to get an Ohio State guy, I really do like Paris Campbell. When he was being talked about first round, I was like, no. But I mean, he's a real gadget guy. If we want to run sweeps, which I think the Ravens do, if we want to, he's a gadget player, and he is the type of guy who is like a Tyreek Hill. Just the fastest dude on the field. Speed is what catches eyes. Speed is what people are scared of. But you know what? I'm talking about speed. I'm drafting Darrell Henderson. I got to do it. Boom, baby. How you like them apples? Biatch. So far, this draft is going pretty well. Let's see who we got so far. Yeah, Cleveland Farrell, Andy Isabella, Darrell Henderson. I'm liking this already, baby. Let's see, Trayvon Williams is still there. Another running, just grab all running backs. I think we need interior offensive lineman. Ooh. According to their rankings, Ross Pierschbacher is 158. We're picking at 113 right now. But I'm going to go ahead and take him. I think he's a starting quality center. He was the starting center for Alabama, and you got to be pretty damn good to be a starting offensive lineman in Alabama. I didn't see him get beat by much. Let's see. Offensive tackle. Ooh. Bobby Evans. See what we got at wide receiver. Let's see what's at wide receiver. Antonio Wesley. Butler's nice. There's one guy who I heard was a sleeper. Let me see if he's even on this list. This guy's last name is Snelson. Javon Durante? No, that's not him. Some guy who went to Malone. Everyone's kind of talking about him. So, because we got Andy Isabella, he's a short kind of guy, but we need that big play guy. There's not many here. Just gonna go see who's Devin Singletary. Terry Godwin. He's kind of a. Let's see what it says. Route running. He's really well balanced in lateral slides and cuts at hard angles. Shows great foot speed and ensures he's under control and able to pivot and redirect hard at a moment's notice. Snaps off his stem with authority to create separation. Hands has gotten eat up by some hard thrown balls when he's working square back to the football. What does that mean? The football eats him? Oh my God. This should be on the news. He plucks the ball well in stride. Notable difference than when the ball is drilled directly at his forehead. He's not going to run through any tackles challenged due to his deficiencies in functional strength, but he possesses good vision. I like knowing the guy. I shouldn't have to read your shit. Man, I think, let's see. We got the running back, we got a wide receiver, we got an edge. I'm thinking other wide receiver, but I think we can wait on that. I think shore up. I think we're going to be a running offense. What pick is this? 123, fourth round. So you're still getting starting quality players in my eyes. See, I'm either thinking Benz Schowel, the interior offensive lineman from Wisconsin, or I'm thinking offensive tackle Bobby Evans. Now, I know we're set at tackle, but this guy could be a backup, and some people have projected him to be guard. I don't know why, but I think, if one of our tackles goes down, we can't have James Hurst going in. We just can't. And I think Bobby Evans, he will fill in effectively. He's a big, slow guy. He's the Hodor of offensive linemen. Once he gets his mitts on you, he ain't moving. He's just like Orlando Brown in that sort of way. And I think, and I haven't really watched enough tape on that Wisconsin guy. And so I'm just gonna shore up the offensive line a little bit more. Sometimes I think the position doesn't really matter. You just have to be a good offensive lineman, and you can move around. I think this is the guy here. Actually, let me look at tight end real quick, see who's available. If I see any names that I recognize. Zach Gentry. Nah. Yeah, we're going Bobby Evans here. We're doing it. Oklahoma lineman. So I think with Ross Pierschbacher and Bobby Evans, both in the fourth round, I think we just solidified our offensive line in the fourth round with 2 picks. I really do. I think we solidified our starting lineup, and I like Matt Sakura as our second center, and I like what's his name? The Alabama guy we got last year. You know him. You love him. Short, fat. What the fuck's his name right now? Why can't I remember? Anyways, we grabbed him, and he played better than we thought, obviously, because he's an Alabama dude. So, let's see. What do we got? Is that pick 160 in the 5th round? All right. Ooh, buddy, we need some weapons. We got Hunter Renfrow there. I'm gonna look at wide receiver. Stanley Morgan Jr. No, he's not bad. Not great. Preston Williams is there. I really liked him. David Sills, just a small white receiver that we already got that. Hunter Renfrow. Anthony Johnson, Buffalo, gadget guy. Let's see. Man. Anthony Ratliff Williams, ya boy. So when I'm thinking weapon, what kind of weapons? I really like Preston Williams. You know what? I think I'm going to go with Preston Williams here, receiver from Colorado State. He's got number one potential. And so if you're he's got the skills. He's a hell of an athlete, and I think he'd be a solid. I think he's better than Chris Moore. That's for sure. That's how I'm going to judge. Just is this receiver better than Chris Moore? Because I ain't drafting him if they're not. And I think in the 5th round, yes, Preston Williams has number one potential. Let's do it. Get your boy some weapons. Yeah, so receiver's still going. Let's see. It's still available. How many picks do we have? So we got one at 191. and one at 193. Let's see. Ooh, Savion Smith is still there. Jimmy Moreland's still there. Cornerbacks. You can never go wrong with cornerbacks. Who is our backup at slot corner? Because I'm thinking right here, either Savion Smith, Alabama cornerback, to be our outside guy, or Jimmy Moreland to be our inside guy. Both of them would end up being backups, but both are going to be serviceable in a pinch if anybody decides to go down. I think I'm going to go Savion Smith, just because I think, I just think we don't know what's going to happen with Jimmy Smith. I really love Jimmy Smith as a player, but we just don't know what's going to happen. So I'd rather have the outside guy. So I'm going to go with him. And I think outside guys, it's easier for them to go inside than inside guys to go outside just because of size. So wide receiver, I guess. That'll be our last pick, because 193, I believe, is our last pick in this draft. Oh, man. So Travis Fulgham. I've never seen his tape. I don't trust that. Let's see what it says about him. Shows proper shiftiness in his hips in order to create small pockets of separation in his stems. And I haven't seen you. I don't trust you. I don't trust you, bro. Penny Hart. But my boy, Anthony Ratliff Williams is there. I gotta go. I gotta go Anthony Ratliff Williams. He's my favorite player in this whole draft, just because I heard no one talking about him. I really like him. I'm the only one hyping him up. So he is going to be my guy in this draft. He has been. He will be. And he's a rat that lifts. He's my boy. And if we can get him in the 6th round, our very last pick, I think he would have been available all the way in the 7th round too, according to this. I don't think he will, because I think scouts are probably a little bit wiser than what seems to be the rest of everybody. Everyone's sleeping on him. I ain't sleeping on this, bro. So I think that's it. I mean, the draft is still winding down. So just going over my picks again. So this is basically honestly, I really liked what I did in this draft here. I targeted the guys I wanted to target, got the guys who I wanted to get. Really, really liking where we're at. And I think if the Ravens had this draft, I would be more than happy. Because all of these guys are players that I wanted the Ravens to draft. As I was saying, names I hope the Ravens target in this year's draft. All of these guys were on that list. So, to recap, at pick number 22, the Ravens selected Clelin Ferrell, edge defender, Clemson. My guy, I had a dream and in the dream, the Ravens drafted him. So if they do this, yeah, it's pretty much over, and everyone should bow down because I am a god and have superpowers and or something's going on. You don't just have dreams and then they come true. That's not normal. It's never happened to me before. So if it happens now, I am going to be sure to repeat myself. And if it doesn't, I'll still mention it. I'll be like, yeah, well, I thought Cleveland Farrell was going to the Ravens because of a dream. I'll bring it up like that. So I think that shores up our defense. Just him, that shores up our defense on the starting lineup. You know, I really do. I really think it does. I think he's a 3-down guy who can come in and step in for what Terrell Suggs was. But he's younger and doesn't have to leave, you know, halfway through the game. He can still get spelled like every once in a while, like at a normal rate, you know. And then at pick number 85, I had the Ravens selecting wide receiver Andy Isabella. You know, I thought he was going to go in the second round. I think Andy Isabella is going to end up being one of the most successful wide receivers in this draft. You know, if I had to put like a rating on it, or like a likelihood of him being the most productive out of all of these rookies, I'd put it at about 50%, just because everyone else at the top has question marks. You know, except for A.J. Brown, I like what he does, but what Andy Isabella does that I love is his separation skills and run after catch, and that's something that really it's hard to teach. And he was really successful in the Senior Bowl, so I could totally see the Ravens taking him, and I think he'd be an excellent weapon for Lamar. Because like I've said before, Lamar doesn't seem to throw to people who appear covered. And so Andy Isabella's separation is going to cause a lot of balls to get thrown his way. And I think that could be a deadly combination, someone that other teams have to prepare for. Which brings me to the next guy that we got at pick 102, Darrell Henderson, running back. I think going to be the best running back in this whole draft. Well, I think he would be only if he goes to the Ravens. I just think he fits the Ravens style perfectly. You know, that home run hitter. You know, you got Lamar Jackson. Can't wait for him to hit his home run eventually. You know, his first 50-yard run, because anytime he's broken one, it's always been like at the 20 or 30, so he can't go any further than that, but he would have. He has the speed, and he would have been gone no matter what. And Darrell Henderson is that guy in the backfield. You know, we got the two bruisers. We got Thunder and Lightning with Lamar. So add another Lightning. You know, double Thunder, double Lightning. Let's fucking get it. And you know, with the next pick, how are we gonna block for these guys? For these next two picks, how are we gonna make this Thunder, Lightning happen? What we need to do is get better at center and tackle. But I mean, this guy, he's projected to be guard, and or he can shore up our offensive line if anybody decides to go down. Get James Hurst off this fucking team. So we got Ross Pierschbacher starting offensive center at Alabama. Enough said. Went to Alabama, one of the best offensive lines in the league. And then offensive tackle Bobby Evans, Oklahoma. You know, I don't know why they have Bobby Evans saying he's going to be a guard. I'd rather see him at tackle. I think he's a starting caliber tackle. He's just big and slow, just like Orlando Brown. But once he gets his mitts on you, man, it's done. I've been calling him the Hodor of tackles. You know, big, strong, but he ain't letting go. He gonna hold the door. Hold the door, baby. You ain't getting sacked, Lamar. We got you, fam. So next at 160, I have the Ravens selecting Preston Williams, wide receiver, Colorado State. Like I said before, you probably just heard me. I really like Preston Williams. Great upside, tremendous athlete, 5-star recruit coming out of high school. So he's got an excellent ceiling, and watching his tape, I do believe he can do it. Pick 191, grab Savion Smith, cornerback, Alabama. Get as many Alabama players as you can. Really, that's just what this draft should be called. What the NFL draft should be called. It ain't called the 2019 NFL draft. No, it's 2019 grab some Bama players. Savion Smith, excellent corner. Love what I saw from him on tape. You know, just another underrated Alabama cornerback, and he can join his teammates to hopefully, you know, just all Alabama secondary. Let's go. Let's get it, man. That cohesion, that's good. That's a positive. That's not a negative. They may not be DBU, but they're goddamn good. So, let's get it. Pick 193, Anthony Ratliff-Williams, my boy, wide receiver. I like him a little bit more than Preston Williams, but Preston Williams wasn't going to be there at 193. That's just the way it is. But I like Anthony Ratliff-Williams more. You know, he's going to take those jet sweeps. You know, Andy Isabella and Anthony Ratliff-Williams, those are going to be your jet sweeps. I think every down catch type receivers. I think they both get open. Both Anthony Ratliff-Williams makes a little bit better contested catches, and he can even pass the ball on trick plays. So we're getting a gadget guy in Anthony Ratliff-Williams. He was North Carolina's offense. So getting that guy on our team, hopefully he can be our offense. So with that being said, man, this one was crazy. I didn't pause once. I just talked through the whole thing, and fast too, with one drink of water. Hey, speaking of which, I'm gonna get one now. Oh man, I love the draft. I love football. I love Ravens football. Fuck Anthony Whitlock. I think that's what got me so hyped in a flow state. Cause man, that pissed me off, man. Hearing that shit, like, you were supposed to be talking about RG3, and then you're just going in on Lamar. Fuck you, bro. Fuck you. So, people, if you like the podcast, comment on it, like it, share it, do all that fun stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, hey, I'm on all the podcast platforms. So if you don't want to put your phone in your pocket or want to do something else on your phone, you have that ability. Because with podcast apps, you can lock it, put it in your pocket, or do something else on your phone. You can check Twitter while you're listening to a podcast, while you're listening to me. Ooh, wouldn't that be amazing? So if you really like the podcast, you can join me on Patreon at CSR Pod. That's spelled CSRPOD. You'll get a shout out every episode, and then hopefully in the future I will have exclusive content just for you. Or make a one-time donation. Donate to my Venmo. My Venmo page is the same. It's CSR Pod, spelled CSRPOD. Or if you got any questions, comments, concerns, you want to get in touch with me, you want me to answer a question on the podcast, or you just want to tell me I suck, well, fuck you. You can send me an email at csrpod@gmail.com. That's spelled CSRPOD@gmail.com. So it's going to do it. Thanks for listening, and go Ravens.